Good morning, everyone. Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day. I'm joined by the baby. And this is The Scoop. And it's absolutely the first time that we've gone live today. My internet hasn't crashed like my mouth just did. Yeah. Anyway, welcome in. If you don't know who we are, as mentioned, my name is Graham. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. Even if we do say so ourselves, we are here to give you our thoughts and our impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games, and we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions if you are live with us in the chat, where we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. Ish. 10 a.m.-ish. It's 11:31, so not quite 10 a.m. 10 a.m.-ish, but we have an emote for that exact reason. We do go live at 10 a.m.-ish each and every single weekday, bringing you the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games, as mentioned. And we do want your thoughts and impressions, as mentioned, because we turn this live stream into a podcast, a video that goes on YouTube, and an audio podcast that goes on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Google Play. So lots of places where people can get all of the content on demand. But they can't speak to us live, so that's what you guys need to do on behalf of everyone else. So if you're in the chat, use your voice. I know a lot of you have been doing that already. Nice. Exclamation mark, loot drop. Precision has already dropped it in the chat. If you're a subscriber on the channel, make sure you enter the loot drop. Each and every single month, our subscribers are all entered into a draw, and one of them wins a prize. This month's prize will be given away on Monday next week, and that is a copy of Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 8, plus some extra Resident Evil swag from the ICU Cupboard of Dreams. So we don't actually know what those bits are because we can't get there, although Jack is in the office today, so he will send us some bits, so we'll be able to confirm what they are. But long story short, you'll get yourself a free video game confirmed before it's released, and some extra goodies as well. If you're a sub, make sure in the Discord, make sure your Twitch and your Discord accounts are linked. If not, you're missing out on potential for free things. Anyway, let's jump into the split screen. Anyway, how's things, babe?
It's fantastic, mate. It's Friday.
I just saw you. You look like you was typing something then, so I thought I was just going to throw something at you and put you off.
Hey, I can multitask, Graham. There's absolutely no problems with that. I can multitask. I can spit some lyrics. I can type. I can host. I can do it all at the same time. It's really not a problem.
Well, I can task multiple times. I absolutely cannot multitask.
I can task times one.
I can do multitasks back to back. I can't multitask at all. This lens has a much better picture, says Tito. Yeah, the thing is with this lens though, is it's kind of like, because of the narrower field of view, it's a straightforward, like you don't see the fact that there's some cool stuff there, you don't see the light up there, you don't see anything in the back. Yeah. I have some plans for behind me as well, which I want to get the camera angle that will give me the full use of the wall behind me too. So yeah, this new Sigma lens is definitely going to make it look better. That picture that I showed you though was just me cutting that off of the screen preview, so it wasn't even full res, and it was just plugged in, not changing it around, not tinkering with the lighting or anything like that. So yeah. I didn't even have the lights on in that picture, so it will look much better, definitely, for sure. It's been an exciting stream so far, says Gaggard. Well, you know, this is the Ice Cream Uploads that you guys all tune in for. Keep an eye on social media, Ice Cream Uploads, says Precision. Okay, this is exciting. Oh, B3. I'm going to change the Ice Cream Uploads account now just to make sure I don't miss it. Loading. When you start watching Zack Snyder's Justice League. Mr. Garlic Clark with the memes again. Standard.
Everything is so fast to him. Like, how is he managing to pull off memes this fast?
He's using Mematic, because it says it in the bottom corner. Made with Mematic. So there you go. Gary's just sat there full on.
He's using his phone or his laptop, or
both.
Like, because this is fucking rapid.
It's a multi-million-dollar business, just making memes out of me and you on the daily. Thank you very much, Mr. Garlic Clark. Mr. T has noticed the new additions. Let me flick to Big Bib. It says Big on my stream note. That's not right. Big Big. Oh, fuck. I said, let me move to Big. And I'm in the way. Fuck's sake. Okay, how do I get rid of me? Graham, gone. There you go. Anyone notice the new additions to the wall behind Bib? our resident. Anyone see it? Oh, Mr. T has loved those Resi posters, Bib. Also, yes, it is Friday, and I am off. Hey, enjoy Skyview Friday. 4-day weekend for Mr. T, then Bank Holiday Monday as well. This is a good point to remind you guys that we will not be here on Monday. But Bib, tell us about the pictures.
Yeah, I wanted some more artwork for the wall. And I've been trying to look for something that I think would be super cool to go behind me. I want stuff that not everyone's got. Do you know what I mean? So having my City shirts up there, that the brother one is my favorite shirt of all time, and that one closely behind it. So them two, Samantha got me for Christmas. Well, I already had the shirts; she just framed them, and then obviously the Gallagher brothers in the City shirts. That has to be done. And then I wanted some Resident Evil stuff, so Samantha got me these two from Comic Con. I've got another one, a Walking Dead one somewhere as well. It might be down there in the corner. But she got me them from Comic Con maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and they've always been around me set up. When I was at my old house, they was in front of me, so you could never see them. But I'm just trying to spruce the wall out. However, these two posters are absolutely insane. I love them because the 1950s style horror poster, but made with Resident Evil characters, and that's what I want. Something that's kind of original that you don't really see everywhere, because there's loads that you can pick up that are just like screenshots or stills from the video game. But this is so cool. Like, I love horror films, obviously. I love the aesthetic of these ones, just the old school horror vibe from them, and it works perfectly for the franchise. So yeah, I picked them up, and then the frames came yesterday. I got my command strips, and then they went on the wall. So I'm super buzzing with them. I have got something else to put onto the wall. I think I've shown it everyone as well, but this is another piece of original artwork that I've seen someone post. For the OGs that are in and around the chat, this will probably make you happy. But it is the no score draws Pez original players, but just hand drawn in like cartoonish style. If that makes any sense.
Beautiful. Yeah, look at Dodo. Just. What a man. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Is there a Barota on there? Do we have Barota, or did he not make the cut? Because
no, I think this is like Pez 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think he retired in. Was it 4 that he retired? He was in the earlier ones. It was called Baroja and then changed to Barota. But he was my OG. Obviously, everyone loves Castolo naturally, but yeah, Barota is the one. Nice. So that's Bibby's new setup. But we have to kind of put a pin in that quickly because we need to move into things. But Precision has done something spectacular. If Bibby, you might want to open up your Twitter. I've got it ready to go, so you probably will see it through the stream preview. But anyway, this is. Let me show you. Oh no, it's gone. No, it disappeared. Oh no, fuck. Okay. I'm
gonna watch it through the stream preview. I think.
There we go.
I can hear it real time rather than going many times.
So, we've got Babinho X Buster Rhymes Bob's head meme. Okay. Let's play. I've not watched it, so let's play. That is incredible. Oh, do you know what? I went quickly from potential DMCA here to absolutely pissing myself. Oh, no sound.
There's no sound. Yeah. I was about to say, I can't hear it for the stream preview. Like, have I just been like copyright claimed or something? Is it too good? Has Buster come in and thought, nah, it's too close, that mate?
Yeah, that's what it is. Insta DMCA. Oh, what the fuck? None of the sound has come on. That's strange. Okay, let me try this again. Okay, fuck's sake. All of the technical issues today. Try again. So, yeah.
And then not get past it, and then want to smash your controller off, and then never uninstall it and never play it again, and then talk about how good of a game it is, but you can never get past the sawmill, and then you want to play it again because you want to see how it ends. And yeah, it's just a massive fucking thing.
Oh, amazing. That is genuinely amazing. Genuinely 100%. GG's. That's it. That's the week 1 GG Precision. That's it. We might as well all go home now.
That is quality. Oh yes.
Spitting. Well done, babe. That's class.
Me and H are going to be repping Manchester very, very soon. 0161 Fanny on top.
Whew. Whew. There you go. Mad Flow says Tito, amazing rapping, says Kelly Neko. I'd listen to that, says Mr. T. Baby going off, says Garlic Clark, and GG's from Ads. Ads, thank you very much for the host. West as well. I didn't shout it out 20 minutes ago. Thank you very much for the host, West. 20 minutes ago. We all know. Do you know what? We might as well not even bother with the news for today. Some stuff happened in video games and some stuff didn't. There you go. Nice. Baby, do you want to just do a bit more rapping and we'll close things off?
Yeah, we've already got a SoundCloud, so we can just keep on plugging that.
Beautiful. Okay, do you know what? I know there's no way we can go up from that, but we'll try. We'll jump into the news because that's what we're all here for. So first, news story of the day. Microsoft will slash its own store cut on PC game sales, down to 12% in line with Epic Games Store. So we were talking yesterday about how it's a shame that Epic are fighting for the little man. They want everyone to benefit. They want the developers to be looked after and want the customers to be looked after. But did they? Was it all for themselves? It seemed like it might have been. But you know what? Changes are happening in the industry as Microsoft will cut in half the amount of money it takes from PC game sales via the Microsoft Store as of the 1st of August. This is written by Tom Phillips at Eurogamer, and it says the reduction from 30% down to 12 means more money in the developer's pocket and less in Microsoft's. This 12-88 revenue split brings the Microsoft Store in line with the Epic Games Store. Steam, the PC game marketplace leader, still takes 30%, which shrinks to 25% and then to 20% for more profitable games. There's no suggestion Microsoft will change the amount of money it takes from game sales on Xbox consoles. This is unsurprising since console hardware is typically sold as a loss leader with sales of games, add-ons, and subscriptions used to turn a profit. Additionally, there is no imminent pressure on the console space to change the 30% cut taken by all major platform holders. Quote, game developers are at the heart of bringing great games to our players, and we want them to find success on our platforms. Xbox Game Studios' Matt Boutte wrote in a blog post today, quote, a clear no-strings-attached revenue share means developers can bring more games to more players and find greater commercial success from doing so. Boutte added that the Microsoft Store was being retooled with a focus on improved install reliability and faster download speeds to roll out over the next few months. As Microsoft looks to grow Xbox Game Pass to more devices, today's news seems like a push to improve the service on PC. A more attractive revenue share will likely encourage more PC developers to Microsoft Store, which in turn will mean more games on the PC version of Xbox Game Pass and more sales of extra content, even at that lower 12% cut. Elsewhere today, Microsoft announced Halo Infinite, which will launch for PC and Xbox later console this year, will support cross-play and cross-progression. GG. Meanwhile, Halo, the Master Chief Collection, has seen over 10 million plays since its PC launch on Xbox Game Pass for PC. Is there anything that Microsoft won't do right now? They seem to be just hitting all of the right notes. An over 50% revenue cut, taking it out of their pockets and putting it straight into the pockets of developers. Huge news. What are your thoughts, babe?
Well, we mentioned yesterday about Epic Games potentially fighting a good fight, but for what cause? Whether or not it'll be to line their own pockets or for the general public to potentially get something out of. I think their policies are starting to rub off in some areas, which are key areas, especially for developers, because they're securing a bigger bag now, which is fantastic for them. So I think the influence that Epic Games has had, not just in the distribution of the video games and how much profit they're taking from the games that they create, but just overall, like the Epic Game Store's brought something out, tried to give developers a bigger chunk of the pie. Look what's happening now. Microsoft are trying to follow suit. It's a very good move from Microsoft because, again, they are making mad moves and they are pleasing a lot of people. What a better way to please, what a better people to please than the people who are creating the video games, as well as the consumers as well, because we're getting a massive thing with Game Pass. The developers are getting a massive thing because they're getting more money, which then maybe they can make more DLC. Maybe it means that they can save that money to potentially bring out a sequel to the video game that they just brought out. I think we give Epic Games a lot of props, but I think the influence that's starting to rub off across video games altogether is a very, very good move.
I'm absolutely not sharing precision tweet and ice cream uploads whilst you're talking. This is fine. Twitch, using it as a full-on advertisement for the show. Twitch.tv/ice cream
Daniel says, did someone
uploads.
say Games Pass? Yes.
There he is.
I only said it once, though. Long time no see, mate. How are you doing?
Although I may have said it twice in the article, so we inadvertently conjured the Robo Daniel. Maybe that's what it was. Good morning, dude. Welcome in. It's been a while. How's things? You good? You good? All right. So Microsoft is giving more money back to devs. I did start listening to what you were saying then, babe, and then may have drifted off while I was posting Precision's tweet. Give me the quick summary of what that was.
So, as I mentioned before, I think it's a very good move for. I'm trying to figure out exactly what I said now. So from the top down, we've mentioned yesterday that Epic are. We mentioned that are they looking for stuff to reinvest in their own pockets? Are they trying to look after consumers? The influence that they're having, not just for customers and for their own pockets, people around them are starting to step up and take notice. They were the first ones to cut their commissions and line their own pockets. And I think now Microsoft are starting to take notice of that. Microsoft are doing bits anyway in regards to Games Pass and giving the consumers exactly what they want. However, now their influence in terms of how they look after developers and publishers and everyone else who wants to work with them is starting to rub off on everywhere else as well. So Steam stood up and took notice of what happened with Epic Games Store. They've changed theirs. Microsoft are now following the line and doing the exact same thing.
I think you might have my teeth in, and I've got your teeth in this morning because
I'm trying to replay what I've just said. I'm trying to say the same thing, so I'm not saying two different things. So I'm trying to replay in my head what I've just said and then re-say it.
Well, I just can't even talk the first time, let alone saying it back the second time. So, before I jump in a bit further, Precision, thank you very much for the host. I don't know if I did shout you out for that, but I love you. See, I love the idea of this because like I've said all along, I mean, there's many different ways. It's not even a case of sitting on the fence in the Epic scenario. No, the Epic versus Apple scenario. You can sit on multiple different fences. There's a lot of different angles, a lot of different conversations, a lot of different potential butterfly effects. So there's not just one effect that comes off it. There's multiple things that different come. And one of the ones that has led to that is the fact that Epic have been pushing for more revenue to be passed through to developers. That 30% cut is quite huge when you compare it to 12%. Obviously, when there's nothing else but 30% to compare to, that is just that's the going rate. That just is what it is in the industry. But we always have this conversation about how video games cost more, how video games take more time, how we expect more from developers. So surely one of the ways that can improve is improve for developers and therefore for the customers at the end without making them more expensive is to rearrange the profit share. So is 30%, I mean, it's just a number to me because I don't know what that means. I mean, is 30% of PUBG, just because Robo Daniel's here, is 30% of all PUBG sales, with the amount of sales that generates, is that really fair? Does Steam, I mean, Steam provides the platform and has established this place for people to play, but is 30%, are they doing enough to justify 30% anymore? So yeah, I don't know. How
30% is a lot though, isn't it? Like, how did that amount come out in the first place? 30% of whatever profits that they make is a lot.
I mean, there is a lot that goes into that. Obviously, there's anti-cheat stuff. There's just having solid servers. There's giving exposure on storefronts, and there's a lot that does go into it. But like you say, 30%, 30p on every quid spent is a lot of money to take away. And when you've got smaller developers that are trying to compete in such a huge space, 30% from a small developer is a huge amount of money. So I like the idea of that. The only thing that kind of I think you need to consider a few things. One, data cost for downloads. Two, discoverability. I mean, yeah, there's loads that goes into that. The only thing that kind of that where I kind of stop with this is trying to be critical of it. Is it good news that the fact that more money is going back to the developers? Yes, it is good news. If Xbox can take that hit, it's absolutely good news because Xbox are getting more players on multiple formats. Developers are getting more funding, which will allow them to improve the quality of their games, potentially, allow them to invest more time into either fixing the games with quality of life improvements, stability upgrades, or extra content, or new games. So yeah, that's all good. But the bit that kind of stood out to me is game developers are at the heart of bringing games, great games to our players, and we want them to find success on our platforms, plural, says Xbox Game Studios boss Matt Boutte. Okay, so why is it still 30% on console? Because
Yeah.
I know console is a different market, and there's all the article says that there's no pressure to drop prices on console, and consoles potentially are lost leaders in terms of hardware. A conversation that no one can find you a definitive answer. We've had conversations previously where I said I thought the last couple of generations started as hardware loss leaders, but I don't know if Mr. T is still here. He shared something previously that said that might not be the case. Consoles might not be loss leaders as they have been previously. So if the hardware isn't a loss leader and they make money on the hardware, and the games they make money on it, does it still need to be 30% anymore? And if you are interested in getting developers into your platforms and they're at the heart of bringing great games to all players across multiple platforms, then why is it cheaper to do that on PC? Is that because you want to expand into PC so you can make PC cheaper because that's also viable for you as a business? I mean, it will be. There's nothing wrong with that, but I just be honest. See it. Not that they're hiding it either, but yeah. It's reading between the lines. They want to build out Xbox Game Pass and Xbox as a concept, not as a block in your living room. And to build out Xbox as a concept includes spreading out into PC. And the easiest way to do that is to make it cheaper for developers, which could then potentially make it cheaper for the players, which then makes it more attractive to play Xbox on PC when you already have competition from Steam and Epic and GOG and the Origin, whatever. So yeah, lots of things. Competition is always better, says Robo Daniel. Closed ecosystem, no competition, says Tito. I mean, that's the thing. Exactly. Like on console, you got 30%. Then it shows you that you've got no competition, so you can stick to 30%. Are game developers really at the heart of what you're doing if, when you don't have to, you don't give them the discount? There's a quote, and I'm probably going to butcher it because I always do when I try to remember quotes live off the cuff, but it's something to do with you can see the real measure of someone's character when they treat people well that they don't have to treat well, or it's something like that. It's something like how they treat the people that they don't have to look after or they don't have to treat well. Basically, is if I don't need you, or I don't have to treat you well because I don't need to get anything from you or whatever. If I'm then shit to you because you're irrelevant to me, that shows you someone's character. If I don't need to look after you, but I still look after you, that says more about me than not, kind of thing. So if Xbox doesn't need to drop to 30%, but does, that would say more about it than not needing. Doesn't need to drop to 12%, but stays at 30%. If they did that, that would say more about their character than just offering it on the platforms where there's competition, maybe.
On that bombshell, I think that would be a very, 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 very good segue into to the next news article, if that's the one that you had next.
I don't know, which one did you mean?
It's one from VGC.
There we go. Okay, let's jump into the next news article. I haven't actually read through the article other than the title, so yeah, this is a nice segue. Let's jump ahead. We will catch up with the comments as we go through, so don't worry if you've written anything in the chat. But Returnal dev, is this what we're talking about?
It is.
Hey, Andy Robinson at VG says Returnal dev praises Sony for support in an age where game publishers take less risks. We are forever grateful for this opportunity, is the quote. Jumping into the article, Returnal developer Housemarque has praised the game's publisher Sony Interactive Entertainment for supporting its roguelite shooter. in the age where game publishers are taking less and less creative risks. Set for release this week, release this week, Returnal is an original third-person roguelike shooter in which players take on the role of Celine, a deep space scout who crash lands on an unmapped world called Atropos. Quote, designed for extreme replayability, the game features a sci-fi setting and a planet which evolves each time the game's protagonist dies. Sony is a long-time backer of Housemarque, having now worked on 9 games with the Finnish studio, stretching back to 2007's Super Stardust HD. Regardless, CEO and co-founder Ilari Kuitunen claimed we'll just say that one. Claimed in a letter published on Thursday that the eve of Returnal. Actually, let me start that whole sentence again because after stopping and starting, it's all over the place. Regardless, CEO and co-founder Ilari Kuitunen claimed in a letter published on Thursday, the eve of Returnal's release, that agreeing to fund its latest project was a very risky proposition for Sony and praised the PlayStation firm for backing its project. Just this week, PlayStation's game boss claimed Sony is committed to releasing more experimental games in addition to continuing the blockbuster single-player releases it's known for. Housemarque CEO wrote, quote, we wanted to take on the challenge to figure out how we could translate our arcade 2D gameplay expertise into a third-person action game. On the other hand, it was still very uncertain if we'd be able to move past the prototype phase and convince Sony to keep on funding a new, unproved concept. The concept was ridiculously ambitious, and looking back, we as a company really weren't totally appreciating the challenge ahead of us and how hard it could be to tackle it. He added, in the age when game publishers are taking less and less creative risks, we are truly thankful to our publishing partner Sony, who has given us an opportunity to work on something very risky and has given fantastic support during the whole project. We are forever grateful for having this opportunity. Shipping games is hard. Shipping games that are bigger, more ambitious than the company has ever delivered before, featuring things that we've never done in our previous games, like translating Housemarque arcade gameplay from 2D to third-person acting and adding substantial storytelling elements, is even harder. We also added quite a few new wonderful people in the team, growing up to 75 game developers internally at the same time, and tried to figure out how to produce a game of this scope. The CEO went on to thank the great external partners who helped create Returnal, whom he noted were even more welcome once the COVID-19 pandemic forced it to work remotely. Do you know what? I think we can stop there. We get the idea of where he's going with that. We don't need to thank every Tom, Dick, and Harry. This is not an Oscars acceptance speech. This is a podcast. But the Returnal dev praises Sony for the support that he gave to the company. In a world when publishers aren't taking any risks, they're playing it safe. But Sony didn't with Housemarque and Returnal. Bib, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, my immediate thought when I was reading the article this morning was pretty much what Tito says. Is this PR? Did Sony get a load of criticism lately from devs saying that Sony only wanted blockbusters like God of War, like Uncharted, like Spider-Man, etc.? That was my initial first thought. But I always thought that Sony was a little bit more should we say looser? That doesn't feel like the right word, but they don't always. They have got the IPs in terms of they'll churn out a new Uncharted game. They've got a million and one different God of War games. They've obviously got now 2 Last of Us games. This is a step into a realm. I don't think I've come across a Sony game like this before, where it's weird. I would never have thought this was the kind of game that Sony went for, but they obviously trust Housemarque enough to be able to bring out a game like this, and it seems to be paying off massively because the reviews have been massive. I've seen people on my timeline that have been praising it. Some of them say it's ridiculously hard, which you come to expect. This game was never listed as being an easy game. There's the whole mechanic of the game is to die and come back, replay it because something else changes in the world. If nothing else changed in the world and you just kept on dying, it would be like a Souls game. But the fact that the world evolves and changes and goes a little bit more difficult every single time you die, I think the whole purpose of the game is to die and replay it different ways. So yeah, I think it was a massive risk for them, but they trusted them enough to be able to bring out a game that's now been received really, really well. So props to them for that. But yes, this kind of statement, thanking every single person, like I said, it was like an Oscar speech. I think it was a little bit PR-y, but if you've got a game that bangs, why can't you be boasting about it? Why can't you be bragging about it? Why can't you thank everyone? Why can't you release statements saying how good the game is and how fortunate they have been to work under certain circumstances?
Do you know, I did stop reading the article because it did get a little bit Oscars speechy, but just on the how this game sits in the PlayStation universe kind of thingy. PlayStation has spent, this is still in the article, by the way, on VGC. PlayStation has spent most of the past console generation focusing on story-driven single-player games like God of War, Horizon, and Ghost of Tsushima. By the way, check out the Ghost of Tsushima hoodie because, you know, wearing it and it's insert coin. Nice! Exclamation mark, insert coin in the chat. Nice. But PlayStation Studios boss Herman Hulst told GI.biz its latest signing, an original multiplayer project from new studio Firewalk, showed it was committed to coming up with new ideas too. So is this how PlayStation evolves rather than just being headlines titles, console sellers as we called them previously? Is this how they evolve? Are they putting more games in and amongst those big titles potentially?
I think so. I think it's a very good move for them. Like you say, the likes of Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon Zero Dawn. We're getting a new Horizon game later on this year. We've now got Returnal. I don't want to say that they're becoming a risk-taking company, but when they've got a wide catalogue of games, like I mentioned before, where games have had sequels, they obviously trust the people who are creating the games to do PlayStation justice. And why not? Because the games that they're coming out have been bangers. I don't from the list of games that they've been publishing for the last 10 years. I'm not just talking about Housemarque. I'm just coming under the Sony umbrella. Has there been many games that have flopped more than been critically well received? Like Ghost of Tsushima was a lot of people's game of the year last year. I imagine Horizon First Dawn, is that the new title, the new one? I never played Zero Dawn. Forbidden West, sorry. Horizon Forbidden West, when it comes out later on this year, I reckon that's going to do just as well. So I think they've got enough experience behind them and trust to these other companies that are creating the video games for them. If you put a little bit of trust in them, I think they're going to come up, and they've got no reason not to at this moment in time. I mean, we've seen Astro Bot, and that was, I don't want to say it was a lot of people's game of the year, but it revolutionized a lot of people's, I think it brought a lot of people back into platforming games. Like I'd fallen out of the platforming games years ago, but I'm playing that and I'm thinking, all right, it's the reason why I went and played Super Lucky's Tale. Obviously, that was a Microsoft game, but there's a reason I went and gone and played that game because I never played Super Lucky's Tale before. I picked it up. I've really enjoyed it, but that kind of game brought me back into a platforming world. These roguelike games are not the kind of games for me. But based on what people have been seeing, what I've been saying about it, same with Days Gone. I should have given that the chance when it came out, but I didn't. But I think I might give this more of a chance now. I know I'm going to die. I know it's going to be a bad time for me, but I bet I can find something that I enjoy out of it.
The thing is, though, is I like how they've merged things. To say that Sony has started to take risks would not really be fair, in my opinion, because Sony has a VR headset and Xbox doesn't. That's a bit of a risk. Sony has released big budget games like all of the Sackboy games through to Astrobot, Dreams, and so we've got VR, Dreams, Astro's Playroom, Little Big Planet and stuff like that. The thing is, though, apart from VR, those like big money games have all been how do I put it? Family. So Little Big Planet, Sackboy, Astro's Playroom, and Dreams obviously is not necessarily for family. It could be, but it's probably more grown up. But they've kind of been more. I don't know. What's the word I'm looking for? Less offensive. It's not the rightest word, but you can pick it up and it's nice. You get it. It's easy to take in. Whereas something like Returnal is a bit more kind of like, this is going to piss you off. This is going to wind you up. This is going to be, not only that, it's something that not a lot of people would have watched Aliens or Alien without jump scares. So those jump scares naturally will turn people off. It's not for everyone. And this is kind of, I like the fact that they've put budget into different things. So they have always taken risks. I like the fact that they are taking different risks, though. And speaking of, Gary's comments, where was it? There we go. I think the main reason for this is due to the relationship that Housemarque has with Sony, Resogun being a PS4 launch title, and Sony wanted to repay them with greenlighting this. If this was a pitch from a random developer, I'm not so sure Sony would have gone with this. Potentially, but it's smart nonetheless, because Mr. Bamba, Marky B from the Ice Cream team, has no PS5, has no interest in a PS5. Just yesterday, we were speaking about Returnal, and he was saying this could be the game that starts to bring his attention to it. I mean, it might not be enough to make him buy it, but now it has his attention. He loved Resogun and any of the Housemarque games. This is a game that finally catches his attention, and that's what I like to see. The fact that it's not tried and tested. It's not sticking to the beaten path. Whether it might be a tried and tested studio, even if it is, Resogun is a complete world away from Returnal. So yes, they are being risky, but it's more of a calculated risk because it's someone that they know that they can count on. But it's still not just another God of War kind of thingy. So yeah, I like it. I like the idea. Good morning, KK. How's things, dude? It's been a while.
Chag.
Or has it been a while? I don't know. Bambury's been tight. Yeah, Bambury's been tight. Bambury is the tightest man in the world. No, Bambury's...
No, he's just got a very weird taste in video games, hasn't he? Like, his game of the year would be so left field of everybody else's opinion. I've never seen anything like it.
Like, he has an extremely high ceiling in terms of quality as well. So, like, if I'm the kind of person that if I start watching a series... it takes a lot for me to stop watching it, even if I'm not enjoying it. I was like, well, I'm 3 episodes in now. There's 7 episodes. I need to watch the other 4. And it's like, yeah, but if you quit now, you're not even halfway, so you've not lost half the time. It's like, yeah, but that's 3 episodes lost. I must watch the rest of it now. Mark would be like 3 minutes into the first episode and go, fuck this, turn it off, boom, gone. It's not good enough for me. Or it won't watch a film again because he's seen it. I've seen that film before. I mean, some films he will watch again, like especially if he's watching them with his son kind of thing, to kind of pass on the knowledge kind of thing, re-experience things. But usually he will watch something, and it's like there's more films than there is hours in the world kind of thing. I would not be able to watch films forever and see them all. So I might as well not watch films again, whereas I would watch films happily again. He's that kind of person. And this caters for the different tastes, so it's a big move. Sep! Let's talk about Sep, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Thank you very much for the host this morning. Good morning, dude. How's things? Mark is a legend, but his random choice in video games doesn't surprise me at all. It's not just video games; it's films and everything. His media choices, he is the kind of person that would go to like South by Southwest Film Festival kind of thing and go to like the alternate indie stage kind of thing. Whereas I'm more like blockbuster, center of the road kind of guy. Anyway, let's jump back up because Robo Daniel did have some comments about the Xbox thing. So we started off the show talking about how Xbox is cutting its market share. Not a market share, that's not the right thing at all. Cutting its profit share. So when you, as a developer, put your game onto Steam, 100% of the sales come in, you keep 70, but you give 30% to Xbox if the games are sold through the Xbox PC offering. Xbox are cutting that, meaning that they will only take 12% now, not 30%, giving more money back to the developer, which is a nice move. We then pushed into how PlayStation is taking risks with developers and giving them different story angles. But going back to the Xbox a bit, Daniel says, Sep!
I sub the EQ.
I sub the EQ. That's the sub emote for those that are watching and listening on demand. Thank you very much for the 3-month sub, Sep. I love you. Cheers, dude. Good morning. How's things? Where did it say? Here's my thought. Bringing PC-only developers onto their platform may result in those developers deciding to look closely at releasing for console too. That is a good thought. That is a very good thought. Because if you have never been interested in Xbox, but you're starting to build up a good relationship, you've had some breakout successes on PC, you might start relationships, and Xbox might go, okay, we'll get you guys over onto the console side of things too. It's actually really easy to do. We've got these tools for porting games from the Xbox PC app to the Xbox console app. Definitely that. My worry, though, is obviously they are investing in the developers who are at the heart of their thinking. But if you are a developer that is only developing for PC, would that 30% jump be a bit of a okay? I mean, I don't know. I suppose if you've gone through the development process already for PC, and Xbox make it easier for you to jump to console too, then getting 70% of something is better than getting 100% of nothing. So maybe the developers might jump over that way. I just kind of feel like if you're making that drop somewhere, it kind of makes sense to drop somewhere else. But is that a bridge too far? Game Pass, we already have questions around, is Game Pass sustainable for the long term? If Game Pass is potentially not sustainable for the long term. Can Xbox afford to drop 18% of all game sales, or over? It'd be about, what's that, 50% of theirs. So let's just say 50%, nice round numbers. Can they afford to lose 50% of profits from game sales whilst also running Game Pass at the same time? Probably not. So whilst I'm saying, yeah, give us 12%. Not that I'm a developer, but give us 12% on Xbox as well as PC, on console as well as PC. But yeah, someone has to pay for Game Pass somewhere. So yeah, probably a bridge too far. A bridge too far. Nice. Stay Frosty G says, Sep, thank you very much once again, dude. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Jagger.
The reduction in fee may allow some developers room in their budget planning to potentially look into console release, even if they still pay 30%. It could be. And like I say, I mean, there's multiple different angles to take this. So if you've got 12% on PC,
Stay frosty.
Vern as well. Hey!
All right, stop, collaborate, and listen. Ice is
stuff.
back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and it'll glow.
Check out the hook while the DJ revolves it. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I appreciate that. Wait, all right, stop. Collaborate and listen. Thank you very much, Fern. I'm not going to go through it all, but what a guy! I think that's the first time ever on the channel that the TTS guy has Ice babied. So we appreciate this, and everyone watching, listening on demand. Yeah. Hopefully, you got all of that audio through too. So yeah, cheers, Fern. Hey, reminders: make sure you're on the Discord because you could win yourself Resident Evil on Monday. If you're a sub and you're not in the Discord and your account's not linked, you don't get into the loot drops. So yeah, there you go. Vern, baby, ding, 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 ding. Boom, boom. Shout out to Tito with that in the chat. That wasn't mine. I stole it from him. But yeah, if you move to Xbox, you are only paying 12% of your revenue to Xbox as opposed to 30% to Steam. I mean, they'll drop it to 20% after you've sold a bajillion copies of the game. Yeah, okay. Once you've made a fortune, we'll let you have a little bit more. But until that point, no. Which kind of seems counterintuitive to me. But yeah, there you go. It's kind of like, I mean, Epic, the way that they do it is if you use Epic's Game Store and Epic's engines and things, if you don't make a lot of money, you don't pay anything. If you make $1 million, is it something like once you made $1 million profit or $1 million sales? There was $1 million in there. Basically, once you start to be successful, they will take money off you. Steam do it the other way. Okay, we're going to take money off you, and then if you were successful, we'll take less of it. So the rich get rich, but the poor stay poor. Is that, I don't know. So Xbox dropping that, developers go, okay, we'll jump to Xbox. 12% is much more easy to stomach. And like I say, if that means that you've got relationships with Microsoft and you can jump over to console so you can unlock a larger user base, it's good. It's good. I would like to see it spreading into consoles and things just to help developers, but I could be asking for things that aren't unfathomable. Whatever happens, a money cut which puts more profit into the pockets of developers is a great thing. So GG's to Xbox. GG's. Storm the DK... I don't know what that is. Storm the DK snub? DKS nub? What have I missed? Not much, apart from all of the things. I mean, you missed Baby turning into Busta Rhymes, doing a bit of a rap. You've missed the fact that PlayStation is taking more risks with video games like Returnal, and the dev has praised them for it. And Xbox have dropped their revenue share, so they only take 12% of sales now through their apps, rather than 30%, bringing them in line with Epic. So a few bits, but it's fine. You're up to speed now. Geez, Steam and 30% of Valheim in the space of a month. That's a pretty penny. I don't know what you mean.
I think it means if Steam was to take 30% of Valheim, they'd be earning a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah. Okay, I get you. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is absolutely churning sales. So yeah, imagine how much extra Steam is taking there if it was side by side with Xbox and Epic. The user is kind of like, okay, maybe they sold millions in a month, didn't they? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you were right, Viv. So the user potentially paying a similar sort of price, but the developers are much more profitable on 2 out of 3 platforms. Alternatively, you pay for it on Steam, and it could be cheaper on the other 2 platforms, and the developer still makes the same money, but that cost saving can be passed on to the user. Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move ahead. Okay. Whoop. Next story. Did anyone stay up and watch the State of Play last night?
I did not.
Anyone watch it on demand? And Bibby told me that he was in bed by 10:30, so there's no way that he was watching it last night because he was all he was all asleep. But yeah, I did watch it, and it was okay. It wasn't anything to set the world on fire, but if you were expecting that, then you're one of those people that says, "Oh, it's a Ratchet and Clank State of Play," and all I saw was Ratchet and Clank. Well, that's kind of what you got.
Yeah. Oh my God, they've named it accordingly, and you're still fucking moaning.
But to be fair, Ratchet and Clank still looks shit hot. Talking with Danielle, we were both watching it last night, and Danielle was like, "This game looks really good. It does look incredibly good." I've not played any of the previous Ratchet and Clank games because it didn't apply to me visually. I didn't get it. Watching the State of Play last night, 15 minutes of content from it just hammers it home that it's a game that I definitely want to play. So anyway,
it's a day one for me
for sure. There wasn't just Ratchet and Clank in the State of Play, though. So obviously you'll probably get that news. We've covered Ratchet and Clank before. Last night just gave you 15 minutes of gameplay from it, so there's not really any reason for us to spend too much time focusing on that. But just before that, that's the Discussing Now title. This was announced. Steph Nunneley at VG247 says, Among Us is coming to PS4 and PS5 later this year. It was announced today during Sony State of Play that Among Us is coming to PlayStation platforms. The Inner Sloth developed Among Us is heading to PS4 and PS5 this year. Included with the PlayStation versions will be a Ratchet and Clank skin, hat, and pets. It will also support crossplay and other and online multiplayer. The game was first released for iOS back in summer 2018 before heading to Steam that fall. It has steadily gained popularity ever since. It was also the most downloaded mobile game in 2020. The game is also available for Switch and for PC through Xbox Game Pass. Among Us is coming to the Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S this year. I know you're a big fan, babe. You absolutely love Among Us. You've said before you're absolutely hyped for it. Will you be playing it on the PlayStation?
No, but I'm more interested to think: is anybody else? Is anybody else still playing Among Us? Because I look at my Twitch, the people who I follow on Twitch. I follow a lot of high-profile streamers. I follow streamers that have got less than 1,000, less than 500, less than 100 followers, and I regularly look at obviously who's streaming, and I don't see that many people playing it anymore. Have they missed the boat with this? Is it too late? That's the biggest question.
Interesting. I mean, it could be, but it also might not be. And the example that I kind of would give with that is a few summers ago, Twitch at this point was hyping up to one of the most frantic summers ever as streamers tried to figure out how to take their streams outside to play Pokemon Go. It's like, okay, I'm used to be sat in my living room where I've got my fixed camera and stuff, but how do I go outside now and catch that Weedle that's at the end of my garden kind of thing and bring you guys with me? Then it died off. No one is really streaming Pokemon Go anymore, but there's still a shitload of people playing that game. So maybe, because this being a social thing, maybe there is a lot of people that are still playing that game, that would still be interested in that game. Maybe there's a lot of people that didn't have access to the facility to be able to play this game with their friends in a way that they would enjoy. I mean, that's kind of a little bit of a stretch because it was out on mobile first, and almost everyone
and it was free on
has a
mobile.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's good for Inner Sloth, definitely. It doesn't catch my attention as much, but yeah, it's nice. GG's.
I've just had a look on Twitch. Just short of 10 million followers. That's how many people have got it followed on Twitch. There's currently 5.5 thousand people watching it, and that is someone doing a charity stream that's got 1.4 thousand viewers, and then the rest of them are either mid 100s, and then a lot of people who are less than 100 streaming it. So I think this might be, I don't want to say too little too late, because it obviously still is a massively popular game. I don't think it coming out on the PlayStation or the Xbox was the barrier of entry.
Yeah,
I don't think it was. People wasn't waiting for it to come out on console. Everyone's got a mobile phone or they've got a tablet. One of the two in the house. Where it's absolutely free to be able to do it on those.
It's going to be a win regardless, though, because of the amount of developers and the amount of time that it took them to put this game together. It was like, what? There's like 4 people or whatever that work for Inner Sloth. So this game now coming out on Xbox and PlayStation, it's quids in regardless for them. So yeah. If you haven't played Among Us, you now have more options to play it. Not only is it Xbox confirmed, but PlayStation is confirmed too on the Switch as well as the PC and your mobiles and tablets and wherever. So soon you'll be able to play it on your Samsung Smart Fridge with everything else that Baby plays on his Samsung Smart Fridge, i.e. Elder Scrolls. So yeah, nice. There you go. If you want to play it, fill your boots. If you don't, whatever. But either way, Inner Sloth. GG's. Little devs breaking into another market. You like to see that, though. Storm. I'm going to say Storm. I don't really buy the stuff on Steam unless it's like on sale. Exactly. Which means that you might as well give up on video games, because if you don't buy a video game, if it's not freshly released and not on sale, then do you even care? That was obviously a comment from the Bend Studios director or whatever it was regarding Days Gone. If you didn't buy Days Gone at launch, then you don't really have an opinion. That's of value to the game getting a sequel. What? Speaking of that was like, I believe it was like nearly up to 100. It was either nearly up to 100,000 or 120,000 signatures, that petition. So still moving. I saw that tweet pop up in my feed last night. So yeah, Days Gone. You never know. Might get a sequel. You never know. Can't wait for that 4K 60 FPS gameplay, says Robo Daniel. Yeah, exactly. Do you know what? If you want to play something else in 4K and 60 FPS, it might be worth jumping over to your PC. And if you have a PC, then do you want some free games? That's a nice cheesy segue into the final article of the day.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah. If you are a PC player, then Tom Ivan at VGC has this roundup. We usually finish the week off with this, as the Epic Game Store's next free title has been revealed. So we spoke about Microsoft Store. We spoke about PlayStation. Nice. We've spoken about PlayStation. But now we'll jump back to the Epic Games Store, as Pine will replace Idle Champions and the Forgotten Realms DLC. So next week's free Epic Games Store title has been announced. Pine, an open-world adventure game set in a simulated world in which humans never reach the top of the food chain, from developer Twirlbound and publisher Congregate, will be free to download from May the 6th until May the 13th. Do you know I'm going to hit play on this, because I haven't seen it. It's muted. Nice. It's a nice art style. I like this art style.
It is. It looks beautiful. I love it.
This, I mean, I've mentioned it a few times in the past. My sort of barometer of this sort of art style is Roki from what's the name? Mr. T will be able to say if he's in the chat, but Roki anyway. Decent enough game. Anyway, it will replace Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms Epic Champions of Renown bundle, which Epic says is worth over $100, but is currently free to download until May the 6th. Epic claimed in January the Epic Game Store had attracted over 160 million PC users. Well, that's nice, but Pine will replace the free game. So if you have a PC, you're looking for something free to play, then make sure you get yourself the Epic Game Store installed. Doesn't cost you anything to download the Game Store, and it doesn't cost you anything to get their free games, because, as the name suggests, they are free.
Free Games Friday, bitches.
Yeah, baby. So there you go. Grab yourselves that while you can. You've got a week to do so, starting next week, obviously. That's May the 6th. There is Idle Champions of... and what was the other one, actually? Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms and DLC. So yeah, you can get all of that for free this week. Nice. But that's it. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for The Scoop. We appreciate you sticking around for the show. Thank you very much, everyone, for dropping a lot of love. Do you know what? There's been a lot of love shown this week. We always get love anyway. You guys getting involved in the chat is love enough. We appreciate that. We don't do this full-time. This is on the side of the full-time. So you guys just being here to join in the conversations is massive on its own. But you guys getting involved with support to keep the lights and mics on is huge. Vern with his 5-month resub today. Sep with 3 months. Sep with the host. Precision with the host. Ads with the host. West with a host. We appreciate you all very, very much. And yesterday, just because the name came in at the end of the stream when I was like balls deep in some State of Decay stuff, I didn't really get a chance to shout it out. I'm going to shout it out again. Shout out to Poop Eater's brother, who followed us yesterday. Thank you very much, Poop Eater's brother. Also, Poop Eater, thank you for letting your brother follow us. We appreciate that. Yeah, nice. Fuck's sake. We are going to jump off. Are you busy today, babe, or are we State of Decaying?
I'm busy. I'm busy today.
Well, I am going to try to jump in some State of Decay, I think. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, why the
Solo
hell
run.
not?
And Uploadia is dead. For fuck's sake. Someone gave Graham the keys to Uploadia and it all went wrong. But we are going to drop off now. I will jump back on for an hour or so, an hour and a half-ish, maybe up to 2 hours, probably more like an hour and a half, of State of Decay 2 played on the Xbox, on PC. So, yeah, not on the console. So if you want to join in for that, feel free to join us. I will be going live in I don't know, the next half hour or so, we will go offline and jump back on. I may even jump back on even quicker than that, almost imminently, so stick around for that if you want to. Don't have to, you can do. You might even be able to jump in and help me if you have the game. It is cross-play, so if you have Xbox and you have State of Decay on Game Pass or on the game, then you will be able to jump in from there with me on PC. Nice. Before that, though, let's jump over to someone who doesn't care about us and wants to jump off the stream and not jump back on and play State of Decay. He wants to get out and just do other things because he doesn't love us. But anyway, babe, anything you want to add?
Yeah, that is an absolute fucking lie. But anyway, again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this week. Your generosity does not go unnoticed. You are absolute fucking legends. But if you want to help shape our show and donate some articles to us rather than money or anything else, there's two ways that you can do that. First of all, you need to go to our social media platforms. It's at Ice Cream Worlds across all of them. If you are watching this on demand, all the links that you will need are in the description below, as well as our Discord. That's the most important thing, because what we want you to do is to go into our Discord, go into the section that says The Scoop, drop in the URL to the article, add your thoughts and impressions. We will then give our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, but it's a bank holiday, so it will be at what time on Tuesday, Mr. Graham Day?
On Tuesday, we will next be live with The Scoop at 10 a.m.
Ish.
10 a.m. ish. 10 a.m. ish. Ish. You can see the ish in the chat. We go live at 10 a.m.
I
ish.
fucking love that emote.
It's good, and it's fucking wonderful.
It's so very Ice Cream uploads. That's what I love about it.
I love the fact
If people wanted it, we give it them.
I've mentioned it before. I love the fact that we kind of like inserted ourselves into people's psyche. So I see West stream, or like West plays PUBG on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday when he has availability to do so. So I sit in his streams while I'm working away, and whenever he mentions ish, he's like, "Oh, stolen that from Ice Cream Uploads." Like, yeah, you get off our words, yeah. But you sub, so it's fine, West. You can use it. We'll allow you.
You can use the emote. Don't worry about it.
But anyway, yes, thank you. Appreciate you being here. If we don't see you over the weekend with any extra gameplay, there may be some additional State of Decay stuff. We don't know. If we don't see you...
I'm going to say this now. Saturday, I am a go. I am a go on Saturday.
Bibby's a goer on Saturday.
You will definitely be seeing me on your screens on Saturday.
Well,
evening, more likely.
Yeah, I'm going to say I am seeing my mum in her garden for the first time this year on Saturday, so I will be not around early doors, but maybe later on. So yeah, okay, nice. Well, if
Saturday evening, it's a go.
If we don't see you this weekend, we will definitely see you Tuesday morning. So have yourselves a good bank holiday weekend if you're in the UK, and if you're not in the UK and you don't have a bank holiday, we'll just have a good weekend in general, and we will see you next time. Until then. Steve
Get pissed.
What? Get pissed? Steve Rusty pissed.
Get pissed. Go get pissed.
Get pissed.